Hey, how's it going, everybody? Got this package in the mail today. A little background story on this. Jim over at Guilty Forgiven's channel, if you haven't subscribed, I'll have a link there below. He did a video, he showed some stuff that he received, and he mentioned that he didn't have a lot of a certain particular band. In this case, it was the band Mass from Massachusetts. And so I knew I had some extras, and so I packaged some stuff up and sent it over, and he got that and did a video a couple weeks ago on that. And as people tend to do when they receive VCLT, they sometimes will scrounge through their collection and find something to return, which, you know, is not always necessary. Sometimes it's just nice to send over, but in this case he did. Now, he mentioned some things online, asking some questions. He also looked at my Discog, so, but I know that he didn't tell me all the stuff he was sending. He just mentioned a couple things he was going to dig around for. Again, extras from his situation, from his collection. So, again, if you haven't checked out Jim, go over there and go to Forgiven. I will have a link below. Ooh, I can see some things here on top already that are awesome. All right. I already scored it so we can get into it easy. This was one of the ones he mentioned when we were chatting. Here's some stuff for your want list to welcome to your collection. So this is a Carmen. I had showed Carmen recently in my collection, and most of the earlier stuff by him on vinyl I have been acquiring. This is a collection of Carmen singing like hymns, and it's a CD only release, and so I had it in my want list because, again, there's a couple things that he had in later years that were only on CD, and so Jim had an extra copy and he threw that in. Great. Holy moly. Grave Robber, Straight to Hell. Look at this. This is all autographed in gold. And this is a 7-inch, 4 songs. Grave Robber I have mentioned before. I have most all of their albums on different on record, on vinyl. And this is a single. Hold on one second. This is a single that came out a handful of years ago, and I think I didn't buy it because this was around the time or before I started actually getting back into buying vinyl records. So I bought it on CD, and so of course I had this little single on my list of wants to pick up at some point, and there it is. There it is. Look at that. Yeah. So, you know, if you Grave Robber, very much compared to like the Misfits and stuff, kind of a punkish horror-based band. They wear costumes and everything. Great stuff. I love all their stuff. And look at that. This is all signed Wretched, Plague. This is all autographed. So awesome. That was unexpected. I don't know. I guess I didn't know. I didn't expect Jim to have this kind of stuff in his collection. Anyway, yes, here's one. Sacred Fire. This is another Christian rock band. Now, this band came out back in the 80s. When I went to the big Cornerstone Festival in 1987 in Illinois, a big Christian outdoor festival weekend, etc., etc., Sacred Fire played there. And I was right there up front, got to see them. Jimmy, their singer, has went on to do some other work with like Rex Carroll and some other bands in later years. He did King James with Rex Carroll and you know, Robert and some of the people from some of the guys from Stryper and stuff. Just, he's been around, and this is their first and only album that I know. But anyway, yes, stood right up front 1987 and saw this band at Cornerstone. Interestingly enough, not that anybody there would really probably know much, but at this particular same concert, standing up front, I bumped into somebody for the first time at that point, Mr. Doug Van Pelt, who at the time was Heaven's Metal Magazine, who had only been around for like 2 years. Anyway, as some of you know, I've been writing for them for about 15 years now because the magazine's still around. Anyway, Sacred Fire, awesome. I keep almost pulling the trigger on that. I've had that in my wish list a handful of times because it's not super expensive, but you know, it's one of those things that's like, oh well, maybe later. This is one that he mentioned. This, I don't even know if I've ever seen this on vinyl before. Love this album. There's been Prime Mover and a Prime Mover 2, which I think was just a CD remix reissue. One of my favorite Kerry Livgren AD albums. Kerry Livgren, of course, the guitar player in the early days of Kansas, went solo, did some stuff with AD, and it's just, I love everything this band has done. And this, I actually had a couple of their of their releases, and I sent them to somebody as VCLT who needed them, and have been on the lookout to grab some of them again. This one I've never had. I have it on CD. Have never had this. Never even knew that this was on. Maybe it was on my wish list for vinyl. I just didn't know. Yes, great stuff. Kind of a melodic pop type stuff. And oh my goodness, here's another one. This would be their second album, Kerry Livgren's AD Timeline. The first album is I do have Seeds of Change, and it's got a bunch of guest vocalists because of course he was just breaking off from Kansas and was pulling in some guest musicians, and a couple songs on there were sung by Ronnie James Dio. That's one of the real claim to fame there. He also had some people big name at the time, Mylon Lefevre, people along that lines. I want to say Glenn Kaiser was in there from Res Band. But anyway, this is their second album. So first, this is the second. This is I want to say their fourth or fifth, a little bit later. Yeah, okay, so yeah, he had mentioned having one of these, but not two of those. So anyway, that's it. And that is amazing because that really fills some holes on some things that I really wanted. And Jim, thanks so much. Again, if you all are not familiar with this channel, he's getting back into doing the videos. He's been one of those long-term guys that's been around for quite a while, and you know, you go in and out of it. But so check him out, give him some love, and maybe motivate him to get back on the train of making more videos. Thanks for watching, though. I will see y'all later. Rock on and rock hard.